Welcome to my microbiology class. In this video, I am going to tell you about Gram's staining. Gram's staining. Gram's. This staining is a differential staining. Gram's staining is a differential staining. It is used to identify and differentiate bacteria. It is a bacterial stain. It is a differential stain. It is a bacterial stain. Okay. This staining was developed by Christian Gram. One scientist, great scientist, Christian Gram. This is a very common, very important staining procedure in microbiology. We can say one of the preliminary staining method used in the diagnosis and identification of bacterial infections. This staining, as I said, it is a differential staining. For performing this staining, you require four solutions. Four staining solutions are required. The first solution is crystal violet. Crystal violet. It is an aniline dye. It is a basic dye. Basic means it is alkaline, basic dye, aniline basic dye. It is the first stain you are going to use. Next solution you require is Gram's iodine. Gram's iodine. This is an iodine solution. This iodine will act as a mordant. It is a mordant. Mordant means any substance which enhances staining is known as, which improves the staining is known as a mordant. So iodine solution is a, Gram's iodine solution is a mordant here, mordant. Next solution required is, in our laboratory we are using acetone. Acetone is a decolorizer. Acetone is a decolorizer. Next solution, decolorizer means it will remove the color, decolorizer. Next, the fourth solution is a counter stain. In some laboratories they will be using safranin, or in some laboratories they will be using dilute carbolfuxin. In our laboratory we are using dilute carbolfuxin. Decolorizer, in some laboratories they may be using alcohol. Ethyl alcohol or isopropyl alcohol may be used. But nowadays many laboratories are using acetone as a decolorizer. So four solutions are required for Gram's staining: crystal violet, Gram's iodine, acetone or decolorizer. Then the last stain is counter stain. Counter stain. It is safranin or dilute carbolfuxin. Dilute carbolfuxin. So four solutions are required. As I explained in the one previous video, you require a heat fixed smear also. For performing this Gram's staining, you require a heat fixed smear of a bacterial culture, or you can take it from a culture medium, or it may be a sample, a sputum sample or a urine sample or pus sample or a CSF, cerebrospinal fluid sample, or even a water sample or any sample. Okay, you make a heat fixed smear of the sample, and that sample is used for that preparation. That heat fixed smear is used for doing this Gram's staining. So Gram's staining is a bacterial stain. You can identify only bacteria. Sometimes you can even see some yeast cells like candida and all also you can identify by Gram's staining. But preliminarily, primarily it is a stain for bacteria. Okay, it is identification of bacterial species, bacterial thing. So this is, you know, this is a differential stain. Differential means it will differentiate bacteria into two groups. Okay, after doing this staining, some bacteria will appear violet in color, some bacteria will appear pink in color. That is based on the character of the bacteria, based on the properties of the bacteria. Some bacteria will appear violet in color, some bacteria will appear pink in color. Those bacteria which appear violet in color, we call them as Gram-positive bacteria. Those bacteria which appear pink in color, we call them as Gram-negative bacteria. Initially, all these bacteria, whether it is Gram-positive or Gram-negative, they are colorless. They do not have color. But after this staining, after Gram's staining, some bacteria will appear violet in color, some bacteria will appear pink in color. Why they are appearing violet in color, pink in color is due to their cell wall property. Mainly it is due to cell wall property. Gram positive bacteria, their cell wall, if you see the structure of bacteria, that gram positive bacteria and gram negative bacteria both will have cell wall or cell envelope will be present. So both will have cell wall. But the cell wall in gram positive bacteria will be thick. It will have more content of peptidoglycan. Peptidoglycan is a material, cell wall material present in bacteria. Peptidoglycan or murin, another name. It is a mucopolysaccharide. It is a mucopolysaccharide. This peptidoglycan is made up of two sugars, N-acetyl glucosamine and N-acetyl muramic acid. Okay, so this is a polysaccharide. This peptidoglycan is a polysaccharide, but this peptidoglycan is present in both gram positive and gram negative bacteria have cell wall, but gram positive bacteria, they are having more peptidoglycan. Their cell wall is more thicker than gram negative bacteria. So because of this, mainly because of this property, this bacteria, gram positive bacteria will appear violet in color, some gram negative bacteria will appear pink in color. When you are doing the procedure, I will explain why they are like that. So initially you take the slide, you take the heat fixed slide, there will be a staining rack will be there, you can keep it on that. First you add crystal violet. Crystal violet, you keep it for 1 minute. You keep it for 1 minute. After 1 minute you wash the slide. Because it is a heat fixed slide, the bacteria will not be washed away. So when you see that slide, it will be violet in color. Okay, it will be violet in color. Imagine both the gram positive and gram negative bacteria are present in the slide. In the specimen, both gram positive bacteria is present, both gram negative bacteria is also present. So when you are doing this first stain, you are adding crystal violet, keeping it for 1 minute. After 1 minute, you are washing the slide. Okay. Next, after that, you add grams iodine. Grams iodine is a mordant, which will strongly, the staining will become stronger. Crystal violet is a stain that we are making the staining stronger. So after adding crystal violet, you add grams iodine, keep it for 1 minute. After 1 minute, you wash the slide. After 1 minute, you wash the slide with water, running water, or if you have that running water, swan neck shaped one tap is there. Using that, you can wash the slide. Then next step is a very important step, that is a decolorization step. In this decolorization step, take acetone, take the slide in your hand and just put the acetone. Keep it only for 3 to 5 seconds. Immediately wash the slide. Keep it only for 3 to 5 seconds. This is a standard procedure. Alcohol, if you are using alcohol, you can keep it for more time. But in our procedure, this is a standard procedure. You keep it only for 3 to 5 seconds, not more than that. Immediately wash the slide with water. After that washing, again you add this dilute carbofluxin or safranin. Keep it for half minute or 1 minute. After 1 minute, you wash the slide. Okay, wash the slide. Now after drying, you can observe it under microscope. Normally it is observed under, bacteria are very, very small. So if you wanted to see the bacteria, you have to observe it under 100x objective. 100x objective or oil immersion objective. So in that only you have to observe. So when you are observing under microscope, you can see if both gram positive and gram negative bacteria are present. You can see some violet color bacteria and some pink colored bacteria. So this is a procedure for grams staining. Crystal violet 1 minute, grams iodine 1 minute, acetone only 3 to 5 seconds, then dilute carbofluxin or safranin. Okay, these are the 4 solutions required. Then after that, wash the slide and observe under microscope. After drying, you have to observe under microscope. Now each step, we will see each step. First, you take one side. This is gram positive, this is gram negative. Okay, first you are adding crystal violet. In that, both will be appearing violet in color. Next, you are adding grams iodine. Here also, both will appear violet in color. Next step, decolorizer. Decolorizer means it will try to remove that color from the bacteria. So when you are adding acetone into this gram-positive bacteria, the color will be present in the cytoplasm. It will not be removed. It will not be removed from this bacterial cytoplasm because of the cell wall. Thick cell wall, the color will not be removed. So this bacteria, after decolorization also, this will be appearing violet in color. Now what about this bacteria? This bacteria is having a thin cell wall. So through that, the stain will be easily coming out when you are adding acetone. So this bacteria, after decolorization, it will become colorless. So the third step, decolorization, that is a very, very important step. In that gram-positive bacteria, after decolorization, it will be violet in color. This bacteria will become colorless. Now in the next step, counter stain, that is a pink color stain. You are adding that already this bacteria is stained with violet, so that color will not go inside. So this will appear violet even after this counter stain. Counter stain, that is safranin or dilute carbolfucsin. Now this one, what about this? This bacteria is colorless now. So there is no color in the cytoplasm. So the counter stain will go and it will stain pink in color. So this is steps which are happening during Gram's staining. So initially both bacteria will be colorless. First step, it will become violet. Second step also stronger violet. Third step, this will become gram-positive, will become same color. It will not get decolorized. This bacteria will get decolorized because of the thin cell wall. And in the counter stain, this will remain violet in color. This will take the color of the counter stain. It will appear pink in color. So this is a procedure of Gram's staining. It is a very, very important staining. Staphylococcus, Streptococcus, Clostridium, then Corynebacterium diphtheriae, Bacillus anthracis. These type of bacteria are gram-positive bacteria. Escherichia coli, okay, Neisseria gonorrhoeae, Neisseria meningitis, Salmonella, Shigella, Vibrio cholerae. Those type of bacteria are gram-negative in nature. Okay, so gram-positive and gram-negative examples. Now, based on the shape of the bacteria, again you can classify them into gram-positive cocci. Cocci means round shape. Staphylococcus and Streptococci are gram-positive cocci. Next is gram-positive bacilli. Clostridium, Bacillus anthracis, they are gram-positive bacilli, rod-shaped bacilli, rod-shaped bacteria. Now here, gram-negative cocci, meningococcus, that is Neisseria meningitis, Neisseria gonorrhoeae, gonococcus. Then Escherichia, they are gram-negative cocci. Sorry, not Escherichia coli. Gram-negative cocci examples are Neisseria, gonococcus and meningococcus. Now gram-negative bacilli, rod-shaped, long bacteria, Escherichia coli, Salmonella, Shigella, Klebsiella. Okay, those bacteria are gram-negative bacilli. So by doing this bacteria, you can not only differentiate bacteria into gram-positive and gram-negative, further you can classify them into gram-positive cocci, gram-negative cocci, gram-positive bacilli, gram-negative bacilli, like that. Again you can classify, and this will be very useful for identification of the bacteria. Okay, so that is about Gram's staining. There are other theories also which tells why gram-positive bacteria is having violet in color, why it is not getting decolorized. One thing is the gram-positive bacterial cytoplasm is slightly acidic in nature. Slightly acidic in nature. So that what happens is the crystal violet is a basic dye, I told you. So the basic dye will be firmly attaching to the acidic cytoplasm. So that is one reason, one theory they are telling, but mainly it is due to the cell wall thickness. But these are the other additional factors. And another thing is, in gram-negative bacteria, if you see in the cell wall, you can see a lot of lipopolysaccharides. Okay, lipids will be present. Lipids, more lipids. Gram-positive bacteria may not have lipids, but here there will be more lipids. Lipopolysaccharides will be present. So when you are adding an alcohol or acetone as a decolorizer, this lipid will be dissolved. So the cell wall will become more susceptible and the stain will be easily removed from the bacterial cell wall, bacterial cytoplasm. So that is another reason Why? Gram-negative bacteria are easily getting decolorized. One is cell wall is thin, the other one is presence of lipopolysaccharides. Okay, so these are the theories which explain why gram-positive bacteria are violet in color, why this is appearing pink in color. Now, not only for diagnosis, it also helps the doctor to identify the drug for the treatment. See, there are some antibiotics which can be exclusively used for gram-positive bacteria. For example, amoxicillin, ampicillin, that penicillin compounds, cephalosporins, they are mainly used for gram-positive bacteria. Gram-negative bacteria, that's chloramphenicol, gentamicin, all those drugs will be mainly used for this gram-negative bacteria. So, for selection of antibiotic also, it will be useful. This staining will be useful. If you give a report, at least without identifying the organism, if you give a report to the doctor that we are able to see gram-positive bacteria or we are able to see gram-negative bacteria, that report, if you give it to the doctor, it will be very useful for the physician to decide which drug can be selected for the treatment. Okay, so that's why I told you this is a very, very important staining. Grams staining, Christian Gram. Always write G capital. Christian Gram was a person who developed this. Don't write GM, Gram. Now that is different. Here Gram, right? Gram, G-R-A-M, Grams staining. Okay, it is a differential staining. Now after this you can see a video where they will be performing the Grams staining in their laboratory. There will be some slight differences will be the procedural wise, which is followed in our laboratory, but this is followed in CDC America. So their infrastructure will be slightly different, but basic principle is same. Okay, basic principle is same. Study about this Grams staining, very, very important staining. For examination point of view, they may ask as a short note, or they may ask you 2 marks questions like examples for gram-positive bacteria, examples for gram-negative bacteria, or what are the differences between gram-positive bacteria and gram-negative bacteria. Like that, some questions they can ask. Okay, so watch the video and understand how Grams staining is performed. Thank you. Thank you all.
The Gram stain is a laboratory technique commonly used to differentiate bacterial species into 2 large groups, Gram-positive and Gram-negative bacteria. The technique is based on the chemical and physical properties of their respective cell walls. In the staining technique, cells on a microscope slide are heat-fixed and stained utilizing 4 reagents: crystal violet, the primary stain; iodine solution, the mordant; decolorizer, which is a mixture of acetone and alcohol; and safranin, or carbol-fuchsin, which is the counterstain. Cells that retain the basic dye, crystal violet, after the procedure are called Gram-positive, and those that do not are called Gram-negative. Gram-positive cells are purple in color, while Gram-negative cells are pink in color. After this program, you'll be able to list the reagents used in the Gram stain procedure, correlate the results seen in the bacterial cells with the effects of the various reagents during the Gram stain procedure, and finally, you'll be able to list the steps in the Gram stain procedure. For this procedure, you'll need the following: personal protective equipment, a clean water source, a slide rack, and a timer. For reagents, you'll need crystal violet, Grams iodine, decolorizer, which is a mixture of acetone and alcohol, and safranin or carbol-fuchsin. Your sample should be a thin, heat-fixed bacterial smear. The timing and reagents used to do the Gram stain procedure may vary, so you should follow the manufacturer's instructions. This is the typical setup for the Gram stain that is seen in most clinical and public health laboratories. The gram stain reagents are placed beside the sink, and a slide rack is placed over the sink to hold the slide. A rubber hose may be attached to the faucet for ease of rinsing the slides. The procedure starts with a thin fixed smear on a glass microscope slide. The first reagent to use is the crystal violet, which is an alkaline dye. Slowly pour the crystal violet reagent over the slide in an even manner. During this step, the dye, crystal violet, is binding to the cell wall of the bacteria. The smear will be a purple color. Immediately after pouring the crystal violet over the slide, set the timer for 15 seconds. After the time is up, using the hose attached to the faucet, gently rinse the slide with a steady stream of water to remove any excess crystal violet. The next step in the procedure is to add the mordant, Gram's iodine. The mordant binds with the crystal violet to form an insoluble complex in the bacterial cell. If you looked at the cells now, they would all be purple. As soon as the iodine is poured over the slide, set the timer for 15 seconds. After the time is up, rinse the slide gently with water to remove excess mordant. The next step in the procedure is adding the decolorizer. There are other types of decolorizers that can be used, so check with your lab's protocol. During this step, due to the presence of a low concentration of peptidoglycan in the cell walls of some bacteria, the crystal violet iodine complex is leached out and the bacterial cells are rendered colorless. Hold the slide at an angle and pour or drip the decolorizer down the slide until the runoff is clear. This may take only a few seconds. Immediately rinse the slide with water to stop decolorization. Please note, the timing of this step may vary depending on the type of decolorizer and the thickness of the smear. This is a critical step. You must take care not to over or under decolorize the smear. The cells that are gram-positive, those with high peptidoglycan content, remain purple, and those that are gram-negative, with a low peptidoglycan content, are colorless. At this point, the slide may not have any visible color. Due to the fact that some bacteria are colorless after the decolorizing step, a counterstain such as safranin or carbolfucin is then poured over the slide to stain the colorless bacteria. Set the timer for 30 seconds. During this step, the safranin or carbolfucin is taken up by the colorless cells and is seen as having a pink color under the microscope. Those bacteria where the crystal violet iodine complex was not leached from the cell during the decolorizing step will remain purple. After 30 seconds, rinse the slide gently with water to remove excess counterstain and allow the slide to air dry. After the slide has air dried, it can be examined under the microscope. Looking under the microscope, you will see organisms that are gram-positive purple or gram-negative pink. Here, you can see Staphylococcus aureus, which is gram-positive. And here, you see E. coli, which is a gram-negative organism. To summarize the steps for the gram stain, pour the crystal violet onto the fixed smear. Set the timer for 15 seconds. Rinse with water. Pour the iodine onto the slide. Set the timer for 15 seconds and rinse with water. Hold the slide at an angle and pour the decolorizer onto the smear until the runoff is clear. Rinse with water. Pour the counterstain onto the slide. Set the timer for 30 seconds and rinse with water.